to the Simply His Coffee Shop and Happy New Year. We are recording this a little bit early, so it's not the last day, but this will be playing on the last day of December, so your new year is coming up very quickly on us. But we thought you can never do New Year's resolution type what's coming up in the new year show enough. And I know we've done this a couple of times already, but I don't think it ever gets old because everybody still does New Year's resolutions, right? So we thought we'd kind of talk about that again today and talk about, do we want to make resolutions or do we want to make
like some alternatives,
small goals, even just little tiny bite pieces, because everyone by February
done
doesn't keep their resolutions anymore. So we
like
want
Kelly says, life gets lifey.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So what are some alternatives that people could do instead of making a full resolution? What are some things that is attainable?
You know, I was at lunch yesterday with Toby in town, and I was talking to him kind of about the concept of an alternative to, you know, setting yourself up for failure with, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Oh, wait, no, you're going to gain 15. You know, that's not how that one is supposed to go. You know, we recently got a different car, and the place that we bought it at, the title of it's called Adventure Subaru. And I thought, and that brand of vehicle specifically, they're big on outdoors and, you know, sports, or not sports necessarily, but, you know, outdoors.
Just outdoor.
Yeah,
outdoorsy.
hiking.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Kayaking,
So I thought,
things like that.
what about an adventure calendar?
Oh, that'd be
you know,
fun.
like once a month, pick something or a place, or, you know, Allie and I have even gone, we had a business meeting.
Now, Allie's your daughter, right?
No, Allie, your daughter.
Oh, my daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, we both have an Allie daughter,
we both
right?
have
Okay,
an
so I
Allie.
get mixed up.
I know.
Clarifying.
You're Allie.
My Allie.
You're Allie.
Okay,
Yes, we
good.
had a business meeting at Dogwood Canyon one day.
Oh, nice.
We just went out there because, you know, you get out there, you have 0 cell service, and if you're around my phone during the day, you know that that's critical.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes, it's like, oh, nobody can reach me. Darn.
Except then when you get back to service,
then
it blows
ding,
up
ding,
even more.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. But we'd gone out there, and it's just a beautiful place to go, you know, and clear your head and talk and be able to, as you're walking and in the beauty of the Ozarks, which is absolutely stunning down there. So I thought, well, why not, you know, do an adventure calendar with the Grands? You know, once a month we're going to go, you know, purpose, you know, be intentional with, because our lives get so crazy.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the month, you're like, well, you know, we really didn't do anything. Like my Adventure Day Monday with Harper, which really was an adventure for her because she was just shopping for a dress, and it was like,
For her, it was Tuesday.
yeah, exactly. She's like, this wasn't an adventure, Mama. Sorry to disappoint.
But I think that's one thing, though, too, that's a good thing to remember is being intentional with the new year. Maybe just have that even be your goal, to be more intentional. Because how many of us have friends that, oh, man, it's great to see you. We should do coffee sometimes.
Exactly.
And then you run into them on accident again.
6 months later.
6 or a year later.
Right.
Oh, we still need to have that coffee date.
Exactly.
And so it's just like, what about just being intentional? Put it on the calendar.
Right,
Make sure you put it on the calendar, because if you don't, it's not going to happen.
It won't happen.
Because life gets messy and things happen. And then even if you have to reschedule it, at least you still have it.
Right.
And you're being intentional about the fact that, okay, we really need to do this. I want to make an effort, you know, so it's kind of interesting.
Exactly. But I thought that was kind of a neat idea I thought about around Christmas time, and they might have it in the spring too, I'm not sure, but Solar City has culinary classes that you can go to. And I think that even maybe out at the College of the Ozarks, I think I almost called it School of the Ozarks. That might date me just a little bit. College of the Ozarks. I think that there's some culinary stuff that you could do out there too, but just something that's not the mundane monotony that you do every day, you know, dishes, laundry, work, shop for groceries, that kind of, pay the electric bill, that kind of stuff. So, you know, something that's brings you joy, you know, I thought would be kind of fun, you know, just to kind of purpose that, and maybe even seasonal specific, like January, February,
Yeah.
March. Different things open up at different times of the year.
Well, I've also seen too a lot of those like subscription boxes.
Oh yeah.
They even have them, I think, where you can buy one for the whole entire year, and it's like a date night box.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. But they have different things like that where you could plan it around that. Okay, it's our date night box, so let's
Right.
open up and see what tonight's date is supposed to be. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like a build your own adventure
Yeah.
type thing, which could be really fun. And I know my kids love getting the international boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's themed for like,
Either
these are all
Paris
the
or-
Asian snacks,
Right.
so that it has snacks from Korea,
wow.
Japan, China, all Taiwan, all of those kinds of things. And so then you try different like either chips or candies and things like that. And so that's really fun. So you could eat something even just as simple as doing one of those with your family. Instead of having game night, you do let's open our subscription box night.
I've seen you guys do that, and it's actually been very fun. Mm-hmm. Actually, Kate's the one who's done that. She goes and picks out all these little different kinds of things because she likes to experience everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So she bought a bunch of, I want to say, Asian kind of crackers and candies, and some of it was really good, and some of it was like she could eat it. I'll let her eat that.
You can have that, Kate.
Oh, but she gobbles it up. She loves it.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, that's a very fun thing to experience things outside of your realm,
Right.
Yeah.
We're a little
That'd be
sheltered
fun.
in the Ozarks to other cultures.
Yeah, I
a
was going
little
to ask
bit.
you, where do you get all of this? Is it something you subscribe to, or do you actually go online and order different things for
You
different?
can do it numerous ways. I've even seen that there's even like Bible scripture memorizing
That would be fun.
boxes that you
Yeah.
can do for yourself or that are more kid oriented to
Yeah.
help your children.
I did that with Harper. It
Yeah, I
was a
remember
Hello
that.
Bible box, and then
Nice.
every month she got a book, and there were several crafts in there, and we would,
Oh, I love
reflect
that.
on it. And there was this happy little donkey that would,
Oh,
your
I
little
love
cards, and it kind of like when we did missionettes, how when the new curriculum rolled out, you have all you don't have to think about it, right? It's
Right.
done for you. You just read and follow along the prompts,
Right.
and then you've got time to spend with your little, and not have to overthink it or underthink it, but it's
Right.
all
It gives you the equipment,
robust.
right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
helps you.
Well, and it's a
fun.
great option too as a grandparent that you could even, I know Christmas has just happened, but
Right.
you could even do this for their birthday or for next year's Christmas is subscribe to one for them for the year and then say, this is what we're going to do as bonding time as grandma and grandchild kind of a thing. So, I mean, age doesn't matter on this one, but again, it's
Right.
about that being intentional and what are small things that we can do throughout the year
Yeah.
that are things that we can actually do.
I like that because what you're doing for me is inspiring me to get outside of the little box you always fail,
Yeah.
which is like the health and the nutrition and all of the exercises
Right.
and the diets.
All the
When
stuff
you
I'm
think
gonna
of doing
change.
something consistently throughout the year, that is naturally where most people go.
Oh, no, for
And
sure.
pretty much sets you up for failure because
Oh, yeah.
no one that I know of, including myself,
Yeah.
really gets too far into the year where they get sidetracked again. They get
Right.
busy again. Summer
Right.
comes.
Yeah.
Your schedule changes.
Yeah.
Your circumstances changes.
Yes.
And then some of these things are not anything you can control, and now you're feeling
Right.
like you failed
No, exactly.
because you did not follow through with your
Right, the
promise
plan.
to yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think probably some of these ideas to once a month would even be just almost too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But take that day and do something intentional with somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
You
for
know,
sure.
We call it Blampot Day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's your Blam Day. Maybe it's your, like you said, go meet a friend for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you do that once every 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Well, and you can even rotate. Say,
Yeah.
this month I'm going to take this person out. It can be as simple as even just sending a text. I'm going to be more intentional about giving encouragement to my
Yeah. Oh,
friends
no,
and
that's
send
good.
a text
No, that's
to
good.
somebody and
I
say,
love
hey,
that.
I've
I do
been
too.
thinking about you. I prayed for you today.
Absolutely.
That
I
is
hope you have an
easy to do.
amazing day.
Yeah.
And that takes nothing. That's
Exactly. You can
nothing.
do that in the moment that you're on a in the car going somewhere.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Not driving, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can do that sitting in a doctor's office.
No, for
you
sure.
can do that waiting for breakfast eggs to get cooked.
Well, I've done that when sitting on hold waiting, for somebody to just, I've got to send that text, you know
Right.
what I mean? So that's one that's really easy that you can plug and play.
Yeah.
But it means a lot to people a lot
Oh,
of
for
times
sure.
because, especially if it's somebody that you don't talk to on a regular daily
Right.
basis, it can sometimes be something that is just like, oh, they actually were thinking about me.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going on in their life. Maybe
No,
that's
for
a Holy
sure.
Spirit
Oh,
driven thing, and
absolutely.
it comes in at the right
Right time.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah.
says, oh, somebody does care. I was having a really bad day, and that made me smile.
No,
Right.
for sure.
Like being even in the grocery line, and the person behind you or the person in front of you is taking forever, just go with it. Instead
Right.
of being all huffy puffy, like,
Right, impatient.
hey, I
Take
hope
them-
you have a great day today.
So what I'm feeling and hearing you guys say is that that this New Year's intentional resolution, if you want to call
Yeah.
it, name it what you want, is more about doing something for someone other than yourself.
Big time.
It could be something reaching out to, even if it's your own immediate family.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing
Right.
something outside of the box or unexpected. Those, I think, are some really fun things.
Well,
you
I
know.
think it
Oh,
can be
yeah.
both, though, too, because as women, and especially as women that work full-time jobs and have children, which that adds another 40 hours a week to your life. And then you have a husband, which then adds another.
Easy,
Okay, we'll
Tiger,
go with
easy.
that. But, even just taking that time for yourself, saying, you know what, I'm going to shut everything off for
Yeah.
just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And even just doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
I agree
Making
with you.
even small goals for yourself, because you can't pour out into other people
No,
and the
if you're an
people
empty
around
vessel.
you
Yeah.
if you if you don't take time to fill your own self up, because you can't spread joy if you're not joyful.
No,
No,
for sure.
and it really is more important than what a lot of people give it credit
Oh,
for.
absolutely.
That moment to yourself, especially if you are reading, meditating.
Right.
I'm talking about the Bible, reading the Bible, meditating, asking God, what do you want out of me today? What is my life about? What am I supposed to do? Is there there's a million directions you can take that one idea,
Right.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
but it does make a difference in your day.
Yeah.
Measure it yourself. Do it yourself. Wake up and just run out the door and then take another day and don't do that.
Well, and a lot of
You're gonna-
people
you're gonna
set
feel a
those
difference there.
Yeah.
big goals, like, oh, I'm going to lose all the weight.
I'm gonna
oh,
organize
I'm
my
going to do
house.
this. Oh, well, yeah.
That one for quite a while.
I know. I think all of us
27
have.
years.
But even just setting small goals, like even with Bible reading, say, you know what, I don't have a lot of time in my day to read a
Yeah.
chapter a day or whatever.
Well, but
then read one verse a
Well,
day.
even our, the YouVersion Bible app that we use, you can set it up to read aloud to you.
Yeah.
So while you're driving or, putting around the house, getting stuff ready or whatever.
And it also sends you like the verse of the day or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You can set up so many different apps to just even send you a verse of the day.
Yeah, and what I would like to say about that is that most of the time, there again, setting up for failure. I'm going to read a chapter a day.
Right.
You know what? You might have read that chapter, but your brain is balancing a checkbook, or maybe
Yes.
you're got to pick up the kid, or
Right.
you've got so much on your mind you don't even remember at the end of the chapter what
What
you
it
read.
was. Right.
So your brain is getting that, but even if what you said, you focus on that one scripture that resonates.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to take that into the day with you.
Yeah.
It's going to be what you need for the day.
No,
and I
for
think
sure.
that really, honestly, don't put so much on yourself.
Right.
Because that's where you fail. That's where, boy, you set yourself up for it, don't you?
Yeah.
Because it's great for the first 3 or 4 days. I've had a whole chapter.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a chapter on day 5 and the phone rings.
Yeah.
Or maybe you remembered something and you got to run.
Right.
Name
Well,
name
here's
your
the other
scenario.
thing too. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday when we were getting ready for the shows, and it's the year does not align with the season
Oh, I
that you're
love this.
in.
Right.
Yes.
It doesn't. So maybe you have set this really big goal for yourself, and that's okay too. If you're one of those that needs to have this big goal, I'm going to read 100 books this year, dude, go nuts. And I really hope that you do that and
Right.
you achieve your goal.
Right.
Because that's just as important, to
Right.
fulfill that goal. But if you don't, have grace on yourself so
No,
that
that's
you
the
know
deal.
that, okay, I didn't fulfill my goal, but also what if something happens? What if the season of your life completely changes overnight? I mean, that has happened with us
Yep,
with
it has.
different things. You know, last year my daughter changed dance studios all of a sudden. And so that was a big
Changed
change
your
for our
schedule?
family, for our scheduling, and for her, because she's the new girl.
Right.
And so she doesn't know everybody. And then all of a sudden she changes schools, which
Right.
was another big thing. And that
Exactly.
affected, again, you know, our entire
Right.
family. So seasons
Right.
change, and you have to be able to roll with the change in the season, because things may get more chaotic, things
Right.
might get more emotional. You just never know what's going to happen throughout the year. So don't think that just because
Yeah.
the season changes in a year that you're not still moving forward, if that makes sense.
No, that's perfect sense. And when you know, we were talking about that yesterday and preparing for this class or this moment, and I was telling Kate this morning that was one of the things that I have heard lately that really, really resonated with me, is because we do kind of tend to set our goal and then we set it in a concrete scenario at the moment at the beginning of the year when we're
Right.
there making all this. We're excited, we're enthused, we're going to do it again, we're going
Right.
to do this.
Yeah.
And then, like again, third way through the year,
Yep.
your schedule changes sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes you have no control over what is going on at the moment.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that throws everything that you've promised to do or these resolutions
Right.
out the door.
Yeah.
Once again, you have not succeeded to get to the end of the year with that goal. And what you were telling us about that seasons of your life change, you were reminding me that that is so real. We have to give ourselves a little bit of grace and a little bit of room for unexpected
Oh, yeah.
circumstances that will change your life forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Sure.
you can't live in the land of failure
Right.
because of things like that.
Yeah.
So that was very helpful to me. That was a very, very
Yeah, but seasons change. I mean, you might have lost your job and now you have to get a new one, and then your schedule changes. So I mean, there's a
Yeah.
multitude of reasons why things change. But again, just have grace and don't set yourself up for failure, because that's
Right.
worse than
Right.
setting the goal in the first place. And even
Yep.
with so many people even start on Monday. Well, what's so great about Monday? You know, if
Yeah.
especially talking about
And
diets.
Monday,
Well,
I'm
I'll
gonna-
do that on
It's
Monday.
probably the worst day.
It is the worst
Thank
day.
you. Because you're after the weekend.
Start
You've got all
Friday.
the stuff that hits you in
Wednesday.
the morning on Monday. And it's like, no, this was not the right idea.
Right,
This
exactly.
is not the good one.
This is not it.
Start Thursday, closer to the end of the week when you've ironed out some of those things that hit you in
Yeah.
the face on Monday.
Yeah.
Get through the weekend, and then Thursday becomes your new Monday. You
Yeah.
start again fresh Thursday, and maybe that's a better plan.
Monday's your eat my feelings day.
Yes, because everything seems to happen on Monday.
Exactly.
You have to catch up on Monday.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
So yeah, that's quite a lot of insight there, ladies. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. You know, I thought too, trying to, resolutions can be more negative than positive, right? So I thought about, I used to have a mentor. She's run her race and she's in heaven. And I can't wait to see her. Thought about her yesterday, as a matter of fact. Miss Shar Rabenort, but she did things that she called a little happy, just a little happy.
Oh, I love that.
You know
It's
what
my
I mean?
favorite word is
Just-
happy.
Just a little happy.
really
but
is.
she had this thing that she would do. It's like a joy jar. So she had these beautiful little papers that you can go to TJ Maxx or wherever and find, cute papers, or
Yeah.
Tuesday Morning, one of those places. And every day, no matter what has happened all day long, find one little happy that happened
Yep.
that day and put it in your jar. And then New Year's Eve, go through the jar and see the year's worth of blessings and happies
Oh,
and
that's a
joyful
good deal.
moments and
Right.
moments that you were encouraged by somebody, because we get so consumed by the pace of this life that we don't necessarily, we almost speed bump those moments in our lives.
Yes.
Well, that's true too with reviews. If you write a review, most of the time you're angry, right?
Oh,
'Cause
100%.
You're like, okay, I'm going to show you a thing or four.
Right.
And here's your bad review because I'm angry. And then we forget about the happy things that may have
Right.
happened that day. So that's a great idea to do, because then it does change your focus. Okay, I had a really rough day. But
Right.
what was the good thing? So instead of constantly
Yeah.
focusing on the bad that happened that
Yeah.
day or the stressful things that
So
happened
easy
that
to do
day.
that now.
Right?
Easier to be mad.
It is.
Well, I think scientifically they say that it takes more muscles to frown
Yeah.
than to smile.
It does. I
so-
forget how many, but yeah, there's more
Yeah,
muscles that
yeah.
it takes to smile. So
That's
exercise
crazy.
your face.
Yeah. Yes, in the other direction.
I like,
your face, you're
Sharice,
happy.
I want to say it was you, and it's on your notes here that you talked about a gratitude journal.
Yeah.
Really liked that idea. You know, I did that kind of one year where I wrote down everything that I would, not everything.
Right,
But the ones
key.
that were like super
Yeah.
important at the moment. I would write down something that I needed help with, and I would ask the Lord, this is my prayer today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, you go back through and you see all of those things that God actually answered.
Right.
Because He answers them how you thank you, Lord, and you go on to the next need.
Well, and that's encouragement.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's encouragement because, again, the pace of life, you can run so fast and run, go, do in fifth gear that, oh, yeah, He provided this when we needed it. I mean, all of those things,
Right.
and it's not stupid, but stupid little things like, when we went to get this car, it was a little traumatic for me. I'm not going to lie, because it's like, okay, we're going to buy a new car. Okay, fine. And for me, which nobody in this room could attest to, I'm reasonably particular. And I may or may not have had a very specific, this is what the exterior color needs to be, this is what the interior color needs to be. I want this and I want this and this, and I'm setting myself up for failure. We're going to go to the parking lot after parking lot of car
Black
lots.
and white cars.
Yeah, and it's going to just drain me, right? I think I posted it on Instagram. This car that we bought is absolutely every single, it's like God, okay, all right, well, that's what, okay. Down to, my butterfly symbol, right? For my Becky. And the car, because it has face recognition, so your seat, your steering wheel, all the things, right? Well, your face gets recognized. It can even tell when you're not looking at the road. Not that it's hollered at me
Does it
before.
tell you get back on the road?
Yes. Wait. It sounds like a casino when Toby's in there. Sorry, babe. Just told on you.
That's funny.
But you pick out these different emblems, right? Well, mine is a purple butterfly, and it says, see you, Mama, or good morning, Mama, or, good evening, or see you when you're leaving. And I thought, how specific of a God that those details that, who am I that you would check my boxes? You know what I mean? But it's something so little as that, but man, it's like, okay. So every time I get in my car now, I think about that. It's like, thank you. Being grateful for that.
Right, down to the
Grateful.
last little
Yeah.
things we don't deserve.
No.
God does it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what I
That's for
love about
sure.
it.
That is for
So-
sure.
Those are the kinds of things at the end of the year you look back and you see how God has been with you through the year,
Yeah,
in the good and in the bad.
Oh,
There's always
absolutely.
good in the bad.
absolutely.
You just have to find them.
Well, and the thing, too, that I think about is as bad as we think things can be, I always pivot my head left and pivot my head right because there's somebody that's got it way worse.
Yeah.
And my bad is not bad
No.
in comparison. So, just being grateful and having a heart of thankfulness,
Yeah, that's the one.
yeah, for sure.
Well, and what's the saying? It takes 21 days to form a habit.
Yeah,
So if you can even just commit to 21 days to start a new habit,
yeah,
that will be really helpful too to get you to where you maybe want to be. So even with the gratitude things, 21 days, okay, I'm going to commit to doing 21 days. Have your 21 days of papers, because even
Right.
if you miss a day, because let's be honest, occasionally you might miss a day.
Sure.
But then the next day, then you do too.
yeah.
Right. You have to kind
you
of be
keep
prepared
moving.
for that and allow that.
Of course.
Otherwise, you fail.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not good. And to be intentional, it can be a little interrupted sometimes. Like if you were going to plan, like to meet with friends, and you put it on the calendar and it don't work, then don't just we'll reschedule. Reschedule now.
Right.
Do it now. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like it. Oh, Sharice, you've got another one on here I have to ask you about. Give me your spin on your alternate laughter challenge.
Well, that's something, in what we do, sometimes, ministry, as with anything else can be so, you're so hyper focused and you're just, you've got to concentrate and, especially
Intense.
some of this, it gets pretty intense. But laughter doeth good like a medicine. And Toby used to work with Spike White, who founded Kanakuk Camp. And Toby called Spike his medicine man.
Oh,
Because every single day he made Toby laugh. He would start saying something, telling a story or something. Toby say, "Spike, you told me that, but have I told you today?" So find a medicine man or a medicine woman in your life that you and I. Half the time it's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me. I'll send you something on social media or something." It's like, "This is us during the office day." Like that one yesterday, this kid is on this little bike thing and it says "My Life," and it's these little kids going around in this track and they're going so nice and smooth. And then this one kid and his cart's going like a kayak that can't stop spinning. I'm like, "That's me." That's me.
yeah, a little bit.
So it's just, taking the opportunity to not take yourself so seriously,
Right.
or your circumstance so seriously, and trying to find, some levity in the moment, which is a great distraction for me.
Well, and that's why we did a few months ago, we did the laughter ones, and I think it ended up being 2 shows.
Yeah.
And we have gotten more comments about that because people saw the more real side of the Horn family, especially because Donna and Joe were sharing
Oh my gosh.
Those two.
stories about
Oh my
growing up
gosh.
as a pastor's kid. And we were just laughing and cutting up, and it was just a great time. And you
Yeah.
always feel so much more elated, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And-
need a T-shirt that says "I survived Joe and Donna."
Yes, we do need to make you a shirt that says that for sure.
Thomas and Becca.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Absolutely.
A little bit.
But laughter is so important. So yeah, commit to laughing more or having a little bit more fun.
Right, absolutely.
Be spontaneous. So many people too want to stick in this little box. I got to do this, 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 this. But hey, sometimes being spontaneous, you can have a lot of fun
And
with
silly.
doing that.
Yeah, just being silly.
That's a good one. I
Yeah.
like it.
Me too.
I'll have to practice that one.
Right?
I'm going to need to develop that one.
Like even like a movie, like when the kids were in youth, and Bruce and Kim, we stay all the time. We need to do our movie night. We used to watch this movie once a year down in the cave at church in the youth room, but it was Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid, but it's hilarious. And I wish I could find it. I built an entire biblical series around the movie Napoleon Dynamite and biblical things to learn
good,
through.
Good to do.
You'll need to find that so
I
we
know,
can share
it's
that
probably
at
on
some
an
point.
external hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, now you got us. Now you got us curious.
I know.
I want to know what your brain was thinking back then.
Probably wasn't thinking. It was just figure
Well,
out
youth
something.
group, you gotta.
Yeah.
It's
Keep them
kids.
entertained.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think those programs we did when we were laughing have been some of the most commented on.
Oh yeah,
And
for
It was
sure.
fun. We had fun doing it.
Yeah.
We probably will do some more of those too, just so you
Oh yeah.
know.
We're gonna need to make those more of a priority for sure.
We will have a lot more laughter programs in the future.
Yes.
We
for
got to
sure.
get Joe and Donna back on. They're our main
Comedians,
source for that. Yeah,
jesters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Allie's pretty funny too. And what I love about her, she tells on Joe and Donna.
Exactly.
So she's got lots of the stories I don't remember. So she brings a lot to the table too.
That'd be perfect. That'd be
funny.
perfect. Get your notebooks out.
Yeah. So during this new year, just make small things
Attainable.
attainable goals that you can do and just be intentional with them. And again, if your season changes, that's okay. Roll with it. Sometimes we just have to because we never know what life is going to throw at us.
No kidding.
And with starting some of these smaller goals, you don't know what that's preparing you for the change of the
Right.
season
Good-
because
good
the
thought.
with the season changing, you just never know what God is preparing you for.
Yeah.
With maybe starting the gratitude jar because a storm's going to hit in the middle of the year or at the end of the year or
Right.
first month of January a storm hits. You just never know what's going to happen, but God will see you through.
Absolutely.
And if you make these small little goals, you'll feel more fulfilled because you were able to attain them. So have grace on yourself and set these small little goals. And we just pray that you will have the best year that you are ever going to have in the coming year.
And
thank you so much for watching the Simply His Coffee Shop. We'll see you next week.